Hi guys, I'm very sorry that I couldn't make the class today at Mercy Services, but you probably would not want the germs that I have had in the last 24 hours. It's been very exciting. What I want to do is a quick overview of Assignment 1, the way that I would have done it with you this afternoon, to give you lots of ideas, particularly for the Mercy Services people, about how you would complete Assignment 1, the information you might put in there, the kind of tone that I'm looking for, and I guess the volume of information as well. And as we go through it, I think beyond the selection criteria, where I'm looking for blocks of paragraph and lists in bullet point and then blocks of paragraph, the way that you would write selection criteria normally, a lot of the rest of it can be in bullet point, and that's fine as long as you've got enough information there. Some people have submitted some test assignments to me, and I've said, okay, we'll get back to you because there's some more things that you can do. And so this is, I guess, to address the people that have submitted assessment, to tell you where you can improve, but also to people who haven't submitted, to give you a bit of an idea too. So from the Blackboard page, just a refresher of how you can get the Assignment 1 template. It is right there in the welcome. That welcome will disappear soon. So if later on in the semester you are looking for it, you just come down to Submit Assignment 1. It will take you to the page. It's actually under the assessment folder in the end, but it redirects you to that space where you can also get the Assignment 1 template. So I'm going to download one so that you see exactly how I would get it if I was a student. Opening it up here, and I'll just make it a little bit bigger so that you can kind of see what I'm talking about. There we go. So I do need you somehow. You can just replace these boxes, or you can, excuse me, you can replace the boxes with crosses or yeses or something like that. However it looks, it doesn't have to be pretty as long as that's done. Signed, as I mentioned, you can actually go for, I'm clicking on Insert Shapes, Squirrely Line. You can sign something there that's like your signature, and that will be fine. Or you can insert a picture of your signature, that's fine as well. Or type your name and I will take it as a signed document. Your response to the first selection criteria. So as is the custom in job applications, you type the full selection criterion that you want to address exactly and in full here. And going back to that Blackboard page, you'll see the selection criteria options are down here listed for you. And you only need to pick 2 out of that list. These are actually taken from jobsonseek.com that I think are quite relevant to graduates with behavioural science degrees, which is good to know. So back to the selection criteria, you type the full thing there. So let's say I want to have highly effective interpersonal communication skills. Oops, pardon. I would simply, I'm just going to cheat and copy and paste that into there. And that's how you do it. And then you can type your response to that selection criteria right there. That needs to be fairly substantial. It needs to be about a page, so try and make sure that you're getting to that page length. The one big mistake that people do make when they're writing selection criteria responses is that they talk in general terms. I have great team skills because I'm always highly motivated in teams, and I communicate really well with the team. I get people to list their priorities, and we work out whose skills match what tasks, and then I make sure that I'm always delivering on time to that team, and everyone's told me I'm a good team player in the past. Or even something a little bit more specific, like I work in a hospitality sector, team skills are very important. I need to maintain communication between the kitchen and the wait staff. And you know, examples of this are my clear communication, my timely responses, my ability to prioritise tasks, my ability to understand the priorities of other team members. That's all general claims. Anyone is going to say that kind of stuff. What we really want is a specific example from you. For example, at one point the restaurant I was working for was hired out for a wedding. During this time I needed to work closely with a team. I was in charge of the service staff, but there was also a head chef in charge of the cooking staff. We needed to liaise with the couple getting married to create their menu, to make sure that the hospitality staff understood the tone of the event that they were setting, to on the night make sure that these things happen. I wrote out a list of duties and shared this amongst everyone so that everyone could see what every other part of the team was responsible for. The night went well. In the end, the manager actually and maitre d' complimented me on my ability to So it's a really, really specific example of how you meet the selection criteria. Not that you're just good in teams and you do well in these sort of environments. You're actually giving one specific example of how you have actually demonstrated those skills. Okay, so that's my main piece of feedback for the selection criteria. In section A of the learning plan, most people can do a lot of that. It's just descriptive stuff. Hopefully after your day with Fran and Maria, you've got a lot more information about the practice framework and philosophy of Mercy Services. You'll know a little bit about how you consult with your supervisor, but if you don't know, do just put some information there about how you'd like to consult with Maria, and then she can always correct that when she looks at it for you. Then you've got a section where you actually need to talk about what tasks you'll be doing, why these are of value to the organisation, how you'll apply psych, and how that relates to your career trajectory, if at all. You may actually have to say, look, it's not directly related, but I want to get to know how to work with different sectors of the community, and disability is definitely an important area of community that everyone needs to be aware of. The application of psych knowledge, of course, communication is going to be important here, but things like your developmental theories and ideas around delayed or disrupted development are also important here. So if you've done anything like that in developmental psych, you might need to talk about social psych and how people form and I guess leave groups, because that's essentially what these women are doing. And I think hopefully from your orientation with Mercy Services, you'll have a really good understanding of what the tasks are and the value to the organisation. So that section should be easily kind of done. The application of psych knowledge, you kind of draw from the section up here, and the form kind of says that you do draw from that. Give us, what does a satisfactory, I always think it's easiest to start with the middle one, standing for satisfactory performance. So you're adjusting your communication depending on people's levels of ability and need. Are you adjusting the tasks that they can do? Are you being sensitive to the groups that they've formed, the social context they're in? When you're working with other people to create some activities for the women, are you engaging in groupthink, or are you actually trying to be kind of a critical contributor to the team? Those sorts of things. Demonstration for communication, are you building rapport? How are you doing that? When will you show sensitivity? How will you actually manage boundaries when you're getting that close to the women that you're working with? Self-management, so this might include how do you reflect on your capabilities, how do you engage in difficult conversations, how are you going to try and receive feedback about your own performance, how are you going to manage independent work. You could even put in there things around arriving on time, checking with the women the day before that they're still interested in and able to do the activities, having backup plans if somebody is not 100% on the day and not willing to do the activity that you'd pre-arranged and agreed with them, those sorts of things. Sensitivity to the workplace, I think there's a really cool area here as far as understanding how the NDIS and person-centered practice is affecting and changing disability sector. You could talk about ethical frameworks and I guess the absolute restrictions that are put on adults with disability, the idea of the disability fairy godmother, and challenging that and being aware of what is going on in the disability sector at this time. The last section is workplace health and safety statement, and so you can pop some text here. What I want you to do is review the documents I have already given you. So you've got quite a few documents in an email I sent earlier about the risk assessment that has already been conducted for this placement. You need to summarise about 500 words. What are the main risks here? You need to think about things like travel, sun safety, any kind of manual lifting or handling, working with any communication devices that women might need, working with arts and craft, dealing with members of the public, very rare but possible areas of aggression due to frustration. And I think for each of these areas, you need to break it down like you're explaining it to a nervous mother. That's what I say. So if your mum came to you and said, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe you're riding the bus today, it's so dangerous," you would say, "Look, I'm going to obey the directions from any TransLink staff. I'm going to wear non-slip shoes. I'm going to look up the timetable ahead of time. I'm going to tell somebody where I'm going. I'm going to carry a mobile phone, all of those sorts of things. I'm going to wear sunscreen when I'm outside. I'm going to wear SunSmart clothing. I'm going to be in non-slip shoes. When I'm lifting things, I'm going to bend my knees. Anything that you could say to put that kind of nervous Nelly mind at ease, put it in there. Describe how you're going to keep yourself safe. And please make sure that you try and cover all of the main areas. The ones that I've received so far cover a few areas, but they're really not very specific and they're quite broad. People are not writing 500 words, and I can see from that the depth of detail is not there. So there are your ideas for how you get this first assignment done. The best thing to do once you've got a draft is actually to submit it to Blackboard, but you're also welcome to email me a copy if you like. As I mentioned, I'm away Thursday, Friday, Saturday this week, and I'm sorry about that, but I will spend a lot of time on Monday getting assignments processed and through, so you will get onto your hours quite soon if you do submit your assignment in the next few days. Let me know if you have questions, and if there's anything that you think, oh, I can just deal with this quite quickly, a text is fine as well while I'm away. All right, good luck. I hope you had a great time today. I'm so sorry that I couldn't be there, but you're probably really, really glad that you did not get the bug that I got. Take care. Bye.